Welcome back to Blue Chip Scouting's official YouTube channel. We're here with the Philadelphia Eagles, my favorite team, with my least favorite general manager in the entire NFL. He is Nick Price. He is the possessor of an amazing mustache. My name is Mike Hrynyshyn. I am not the possessor of an amazing mustache. I have a half-decent beard. That's about all I got going for me. Nick, my friend, my former co-host, how are you?
I'm doing better. I'm doing well. I was maintaining last night, but now I'm just good. You know, work's still kicking my butt, but hey.
Oh, ain't that true?
It be like that.
It do in fact be like that. So we are doing the Eagles, like I said, 2022, 7 rounds. Thanks to Rise and Draft for their mock draft simulator, as I go incredibly blurry. So give me 1 second. And I should be less blurry, and that didn't help at all.
Oh, boy.
Hang on. We are going to fix the blurry.
Camera giving you the business.
Still did not help.
My goodness.
Usually that helps. I don't know what is going on. Why is it not doing this?
You could just take like the Russian or the Ukrainian method, I should say, and just whack the hell out of it.
Hey!
There it goes.
There we go. Damn Russian hackers trying to hack my beautiful camera. Make me look blurry. Moving on. I've got this set to normal so that we can actually see when picks happen.
Yeah.
And decide if we want to trade up. I'm going to go out on a limb now. Nick, if you try to make me draft a quarterback, I am in charge of this, and I'm not going to do it.
That's okay. I understand that. I won't force Malik Willis onto you.
Thank you.
If I was 4-0 on the other hand, maybe.
This quarterback class is like ship. Stop trying to make it happen.
Oh, would you say ships isn't like relationships? Like
or fetch.
Oh, fetch. Yeah, there we go. You
can tell I'm not up on my mean girls. What I am up on is the fact that the Eagles still need a wide receiver here at pick 15, despite the fact that in 4 straight drafts they've drafted a wide receiver with a pick in the first 2 rounds. And this would be the 3rd straight year of drafting a round 1 wide receiver. The reason for it is that J.J. Arcega-Whiteside is bad and Jalen Reagor is bad.
Yeah, at this point,
Jalen Reagor, who has had me blocked since before the draft because I said he had meh hands. Just meh.
I mean, Mike, at least you could sleep well at night knowing that you were vindicated about your opinions with the Reagor pick.
Almost immediately.
I will say this: at this point, like the Eagles are starting to make Matt Millen look good at how many receivers they've taken.
You know what it is? Howie is incredibly frustrating. Before I get into the pick, Howie is incredibly frustrating because the 2020 draft was categorically awful. Reagor wasn't a great pick. They reached on pretty much every position.
Yeah.
And they took 2 linebackers that were incredibly raw and not ready to see the field and still don't see the field consistently, even in having just wrapped up year 2. But they drafted 3 wide receivers that were all labeled as speed guys with bad hands in Reagor, Hightower, and Quez Watkins. Quez Watkins has been the best of the 3, and he was drafted in the 6th round.
Which is interesting. And then
2021 was objectively a good draft class.
It was.
So I am terrified that this is going to be a bad draft because it's like, for our baseball fans out there, it's like the San Francisco Giants. They're either like title contenders or they're bad. And it alternates every year.
There's no consistency.
There's no consistency in drafting. The only thing that was bad from last year's class was at the time the Milton Williams pick. Because 1, I didn't really like Milton Williams as a prospect. But 2, there was the image of him high-fiving everyone or wanting to high-five everyone while everyone else was miserable at that pick.
But in hindsight, though, Milton Williams has turned to look pretty decent in his rookie year.
Yeah, he made me look dumb. And there are players that make me look dumb every single year. Jalen Reagor has not been that one. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside has not been that. Sean Bradley has not been that. John Hightower has not been that. You know who I think might be that? So I'm looking at the way this Eagles receivers room is lined up. And I mean, as you can see on our screen right now, we have Drake London, Jameson Williams, and Chris Olave, which is perfect.
All three are dudes.
Yeah, this is exactly how I would want the board. Like, listen, Drake London is my wide receiver 5, but I still would have no problem taking him in round 1.
Right. I think he's like 4.
Yeah, Treylon Burks is my number 1 wide receiver, but my big thing with what this Eagles team needs is they need someone that can go around the middle, go across the middle of the field. You've got Rager and Watkins who have speed. Watkins has speed and halfway decent hands. Jalen Rager, as we saw in the Denver game, played 81 snaps and did absolutely nothing with those snaps. No targets, no catches, nothing. He was literally a decoy the entire game. And I'm not even sure if a decoy is the right word because you actually have to give something in order to be a decoy. He was just collecting snap counts. You have Devontae Smith, who is a fantastic route runner, but in everyone I just mentioned, undersized speed guys. They don't have a big bodied guy. So as much as like Chris Olave would make sense here because he's a phenomenal route runner and he's got elite speed. Jameson Williams is incredibly fast. Drake London makes sense. It's exactly what the team needs.
Yes. And I think like having a big body receiver who can make those tough catches, it
would help Jalen Hurts.
It would. Because, he can kind of do the thing that Lamar Jackson does is just like, screw it. He's down there somewhere. He'll catch it.
Just YOLO ball it, man.
YOLO ball it. I don't think that's the most ideal way to play quarterback, but at the same time, like if it gets you touchdowns, it gets you yardage. I mean, at the end of the day, who cares?
Exactly.
And I'm not saying that's all Drake London will be. No. Sure, he does a lot of nice out of the slot as a route runner. But
there's a big thing about like his lack of production. Did you not see what USC had last year? It wasn't a very good offense.
No, it wasn't.
Didn't have a great line. 2 different quarterbacks, 3 different quarterbacks, I think.
It was a Dart, Slovis, and then there was someone else in there.
Yeah, so it's 3 different quarterbacks, and he fought injuries. So I'm going to go Drake London on this one.
Yeah, that makes sense. I hate the idea of having to pick like wide receiver in 3 straight drafts, but this is coming from a Ravens fan who has to throw it at it every year.
So here's the thing, Nick. You draft a wide receiver in 3 straight rounds because one of those wide receivers was Jalen Rager.
Fair enough.
Who was the 10th best wide receiver in that class at the time of the selection. And just so happened to be picked 1 pick before Justin Jefferson because the Eagles thought Justin Jefferson was only going to be a slot receiver.
Yeah, and he's like a top 10 receiver at 23. It burns. It burns. Trust me. I think. Listen. Nothing against Hollywood Brown. I love Hollywood, but every day I think we could have had AJ Brown or Terry McLaurin at 25 in 2019 instead of Hollywood. But oh well.
Hollywood Brown gave us Hollywood Dante. So
true. Very true.
So we're back on at 18. Initially, the Eagles were supposed to have 16 and 19. That was part of that cluster you-know-what trade with the with the Saints that got them a first-round pick next year. The Eagles are in asset hoarding territory. I think they're holding assets so that 2023 they can easily move up for a quarterback.
Sure, they need to.
Like,
which is likely.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest Jalen Hurts believer. I think he's fine. I think he's better than any of the quarterbacks in this class.
Easily, yeah.
Because here's the thing. If you draft, yes, Kenny Pickett is still there, but God, he does not fit anything that the Eagles want to do. But I'm taking a look at the needs. Linebacker is still a need. I mean, personally, Devin Lloyd is the pick for me.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But
Howie Roseman believes that linebackers don't matter. And sure, you know what? To an extent, they don't. But this is the same team that has drafted Sean Bradley, Davion Taylor, and let Nate Gary start for 2 years.
And their starting linebackers, according to our lads, are Kaiser White, who is solid as an in-the-box player, and
converted
TJ
safety.
Edwards. Converted safety.
Oh, God. TJ Edwards. Oh, boy. So they need a linebacker. I don't care what Howie Roseman thinks. His opinion is a moot point. It's my draft, my team, Devin Lloyd. Linebacker 1, baby.
I mean, at some point, you just have to be just bite the bullet and be like, you can't sustain play with these guys. Right. I mean, Devin Lloyd is probably one of the better linebackers I've scouted in a while.
Yeah.
Great,
Toby Dean wasn't making it to your next pick.
No, there's no way. Although he might make a liar out of you right now.
I swear if he's still available, I'm going to be so mad. Daniel Falele just went 48th overall. So.
Oh, my God. He's still here. Mike, he's still...
Sure.
You know what? The worst part is this actually might happen.
I want to see some of the picks that went ahead of him. So we saw, hey, your guy, Tyler Smith.
Yeah, talk about vindication. I'm
Bernard Ryman falling out of the first round is surprising, although it should happen in real life. Sky Moore at 42. Quay Walker at 44 is interesting.
Scroll for a second.
Yes.
I'm sorry, but Arnold Ebiketie, I think I put this in that article I wrote the other day. That's probably the best fit to the Seahawks out of this entire draft.
Yeah, that's a really good fit.
Like, even
I have a third on him, but I think that's a really good fit.
Like, he's exactly what they look for in an edge rusher. It makes so much sense. Anyway, we digress.
Now, if we hadn't gone Devin Lloyd, I would have loved to get Trent McDuffie. That's why I was hoping that they just wouldn't have made that trade, because then you could have gotten Drake London, Trent McDuffie, and Devin Lloyd. Like, imagine that as a first-round haul.
Incredible.
Right?
Sensational.
Now we're sitting here at 51. I don't get it with Tariq Woolen.
I don't want to get into that right now, but I'm not the biggest Tariq Woolen fan.
I actually prefer Martin Emerson. Martin Emerson is one I prefer over him. Kobe Bryant's another one. Alontae Taylor. Mario Goodrich, I think, as well, is one I have higher.
Yeah, I like Goodrich.
I like Caleb Evans more. And one that we can find apparently way late in the draft is Monterey Brown, who I have a third-round grade or early fourth-round grade on. He's really freaking good. 5 picks and can tackle. Just may not be the greatest athlete.
Yeah. I don't know. He's one of those of like the Baltimore drafts. I might get to him after the draft. But anyway.
Corner's a need, obviously. Edge is a need.
Let me see that interior offensive line. I'm a little curious. Okay. Sean Ryan's here. Dylan Parham.
We haven't heard a peep on Sean Ryan in months.
Yeah.
I still like him.
I know. Sean Ryan is still pretty good. Evidently, he's the Packers are in on him, so that's the thing to watch out for.
When you look at the Eagles' interior, obviously you have however long Jason Kelce has left.
Right.
You drafted
Landon Dickerson.
Thank you. Who has a history of injuries. And then it's Siamalu at the other guard spot, if I remember correctly. It's been a while since I looked at the Eagles.
It is. And there's Nate Herbig is still.
Oh, God, don't remind me on Nate Herbig. I had to watch that guy way too much. Cole Strange would be interesting here, but I think it's a little early. We could probably get him at 83. But he's more of a pure center. Ed Ingram is one to watch at 83 as well, I think.
Yeah.
Siamalu is. How old is Siamalu? Just click on his age for a second.
Siamalu, I think, is he'll be 29 this year.
Yeah, so you're not really sure. I don't think they're strung to him for too long. This could be a case where Ingram might even just beat him outright.
Yeah. Let me see edge right quick.
Cameron Thomas, Kingsley Enagbari, MyJ doesn't fit. Sam Williams has too many off field for them to consider. Alex Wright is way too undervalued here.
Can I interest you in Cameron Thomas?
They did lose Derek Barnett.
No, he's back.
Oh, no, he signed a dirt cheap contract. You're right.
Yeah, but Brandon Graham's getting older. Granted, still have Josh Sweat in the rotation. Barnett, I think it's like a 2-year deal, but it's technically a 1-year deal that they can.
Yeah, it's like a 1 plus a team option, I think. I'm looking at it now. Brandon Graham is 34.
Wow.
Josh Sweat still hasn't really broken out, out as anything other. I could be talked into Cam Thomas. The inside-outside flexibility. Fletcher Cox is getting older. Get a little bit more of that same thing you get out of Milton Williams. On the other hand, though, you have Hassan Reddick as like a pass rushing linebacker.
True. But
so you get some pass rush with that.
However, if we don't get like a top flight corner in this draft, you might as well just load up on pass rush.
That is true.
Hope they get to the quarterback before the quarterback has a chance.
I am scared of any team. I mean, Zach McPherson is still. He's a 4th round, second-year player. Tay Gowan was more notable for just saying he was going to follow people on Twitter than anything he did with the Cardinals and then with the Eagles. And Avonte Maddox is bad. So I'm not wild about anything that's there at corner. I think we can wait on interior because I don't think it's an immediate need. Are you more in on Enigbari or Cameron Thomas?
Cameron Thomas.
Yeah. He does give you a lot of what you already have with Brandon Graham, which is good because Brandon Graham may only have another year or so.
Yeah. And I still think Thomas needs to get a little bit better with his pass rush moves and stringing those together.
I'm in. Let's do it.
Yeah. It makes sense.
Okay. Cam Thomas.
2 nights in a row, I've convinced the host to go to edge rusher.
I just saw Nicholas Pettit-Frere go at 59, and I feel a little ill right now.
Yeah.
He's not good.
Oh, man, Marcus Jones just went. Dang.
Oh. I haven't gotten to him yet. He's still on my list.
Oh, man, Marcus Jones is so good. He's going to be so good in the NFL.
Nick, I have 8 days to get my guys in. That's it. 8 days. Okay. All right. What are we thinking here?
Let me see corner. I just want to see.
Kobe Bryant. I have a plan.
Okay.
Okay. So I don't know who Miles Sanders pissed off last year.
Right.
But he was a complete non-factor in that offense. I have a feeling they're going to try to move him during the draft.
Well, let me check his contract. Let me check his contract right quick.
I think he's in a contract year and they have no interest in paying him.
I think you would be correct. Yes, he is a free agent next year.
Yeah. You have, as I'm looking at the depth chart, I've pulled it open, Boston Scott and Kenneth Gainwell. Kenneth Gainwell is great. However,
yes,
I think the NFL views him as more of a gadget player.
Yeah.
If you can move Miles Sanders on day 3 of the draft, this becomes a very easy pick because running back 1 is still on the board here at 83.
From everything I've gathered, like it seems like the Eagles are kind of bent on running the football this year too.
Yeah, because that's what you cannot rely on Jalen Hurts to be a throw the ball 40 times a game guy.
Correct.
I think that there's a player in this class that gives a lot, in terms of play style and comparison wise to a young, healthy Cadillac Williams.
That's not the worst comp I've ever heard.
You know which one I'm talking about, right?
Kenneth Walker?
No, it's Isaiah Spiller.
Oh, I didn't even notice him. What the heck? I'm blind.
Yeah, he's still here. I have a first on him. On film, he's a first-round grade to me. He tested kind of meh because everyone at A&M tested meh because I'm pretty sure they made them run 43 yards.
Right.
I don't really care about his long speed. I don't care.
Neither do I. As long as you're not touching the 4.8s or anything, I personally don't care.
I think he was a 4.6 something.
That's fine.
Yeah. 83 overall.
Yeah.
And I know. But if you look at the corners, Kendrick, Bryant, Alante Taylor, Mario Goodrich, Taylor Britt, Zion McCollum, all still going to be there. At least 2 of them are still going to be there.
True. Yeah, let's take Spiller.
Cool.
I have a plan because something tells me that Bryant's not going to be there when we pick.
I'm amazed Kenneth Walker is still there.
I mean,
he's still there. Is someone going to? There we go.
Oh, there we go. Saints.
And there goes Kobe Bryant. Okay.
Okay, so
I like.
How do the Eagles how do the Eagles feel about Dallas Goddard?
I think he's in a contract here.
Would he be re-signed?
I would assume so.
Okay.
I'm actually going to check his 4-year. He's on a 4-year, $57 million contract. There's an out in 2024.
Okay, never mind. I want to get cute drafted the tight end because I'm a Ravens fan. We do that. I
don't really. Oh boy, you know what? Tight end Dulcich is still there, but
Dulcich is really good. But could I bend your ear and ask you to take Mario Goodrich?
I'm okay with that.
Goodrich is a fine.
Mario Goodrich.
Yeah, he's a fine player. Not quite as snappy. I don't think as an athlete as Andrew Booth is, but I think he'd be a solid number 2 next to Darius Slay. And when eventually you move on from Darius Slay, you just obviously pick another number 1 corner. But
exactly. And you know what? Next year, here's the thing: is you and I have both looked ahead a little bit at 2023, right?
Yeah, just a tad, a little bit. I watched Bryce Young and Tyler Van Dyke.
Next year's corner class. Oh, it's going to be good.
I can't wait.
Eli Ringo. Utah has a dude, Clark Harris III, I think is his name.
Yeah.
There are some good players available at corner next year.
We also get the TCU boys back.
Available on the board at pick 124, and Greg Dulcich would kind of be what the Eagles use Zach Ertz as would Cade Otton, oddly enough. Yeah. Otton's a little close to what Dallas Goddard is, more of an inline rather than a big slot tight end. Can I convince you to get tight end 2, Greg Dulcich, at a ridiculous value?
Yeah, because you're essentially going VPA at this point.
Oh yeah, he has no business still being there. It's saying also, defensive tackle is a big need, and I'm looking, and I don't like it. Yeah, you know what? Well, I know exactly who I want at D tackle in this pick.
Thomas Booker?
Nope.
Uwazurike?
Yeah. Stupid.
See, I was gonna say Booker because Booker's a really, really, really smart run defender, and he has a ton of he has a ton of work to do as a pass rusher. But you have guys like Marlon Tuipulotu, and then Williams for that. So it's kind of you don't really need him to.
And Fletcher Cox still, and Javon Hargrave.
True. But Uwazurike is already kind of there as a pass rusher. He's significantly better as a pass rusher.
So when I watched Iowa State's 2020 film, Uwazurike was playing as a pure nose and was go stop the run. And he was fine at that. And then this year they went, well, just go get the passer. Just pin your ears back, bud, and go get it. And it was hilarious because if you looked on ESPN and on Iowa State's official website, he was listed at 6'6" and 280 pounds. Now, I've had the chance to talk a little bit with Iomi Uwazurike. He hasn't been 285 pounds since he was a freshman. He's actually 320.
He's a big fella.
And he moves really well. And he was one of the best defensive linemen down at the Shrine game. And he also had 8 sacks as a nose tackle.
You can also play 5 technique for you too, if that.
Oh yeah,
Jonathan
wants
to get creative.
I thought he was. That's where I thought he was best, is actually as a pass rushing 5 tech. Because he's also 6'6".
Yeah, he's a mountain of a human being.
Great dude. Blue. As lame as this sounds, he's a Detroit guy. He's a blue collar guy.
Oh God, nothing like. In terms of the value, I know because you and I both think very highly of him. He's a third-round grade for both of us.
Actually, no, you graded higher on him than I did.
Oh, really? So wait,
Yeah.
so me and AJ were higher than on.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
He graded as a 5th because I wasn't sure about his athleticism on film. But then I haven't updated my board since since I got a chance to look at his mock draftable. It's almost a complete circle.
That's incredible.
Like it is scary how good his numbers are. Like you've seen it, right?
I am looking at it right now, in fact, because I have not seen it. Oh my goodness!
Oh yeah, 98th percentile in height, 77th in weight, wingspan 95th percentile,
Like,
arm length 95th, hand size 64th, vert 88th, broad 61st. Comparable to guys like Christian Barmore, Travis Jones, Rashid Hageman, Leonard Williams.
Mike, just draft him.
Yeah, we're doing.
Listen, regardless of whatever shortcomings he may have, just always bet on athleticism.
Always bet on athleticism.
That's why Tariq Woolen is getting the praise that he is.
That's why Trayvon Walker is getting the praise that he is. 8 picks later, we're back on the clock. You want to talk about athleticism and the lack of athleticism? We got Jalen Weidemeyer on the board.
Oh God, I don't even want to go down that road.
Let's go to the interior, see what's there.
Okay, Ezeudu.
I haven't watched Ezeudu. Have you?
He's good. Okay,
okay.
Tyler's right. He's not the most stellar. I don't think he's not the most stellar athlete in the world. I thought he was a little tight-hipped, but like when he gets his hands on and gets good placement, which he does kind of consistently from my viewing, he can really move people. I think what is this round 5, 6?
5.
Yeah, 5. I put an early 4th round grade on him, or mid 4th round grade. I think it's good value here. I mean, it's either him or Cade Mays, and I know you're not a big Cade Mays guy.
I'm not a big Cade Mays guy. I don't know why I found that so difficult to say. Yeah, Dawson Deaton's probably Dawson Deaton's the highest graded guy that I've watched here because I don't even think I've graded Mays yet.
I just straight up didn't watch Mays.
Let's get Ezeudu.
Okay. There's a lot of brand guys in this draft.
There really are. Hoarding the brand guys. Sorry, hang on. Got stuck on a page, I think. Oh, we're back on the clock at 166. Jesus.
Look at that.
Trade down. Get some more assets for next year. Because the next biggest need, according to this, is safety and offensive tackle. Now,
let's see safety.
Not a lot of athleticism.
Well, Sterling Weatherford's fine. I mean, think about this, Mike. Weatherford may not be a full-time safety. He could be a dime backer,
and he might be better dime linebacker than most of the linebackers on the team. Now,
if Devin were in my shoes, right?
Do you want to try to trade back, or do you want to just draft straight up?
Nah, I want Sterling Weatherford. What can I say? I'm being picky here.
Now, I am proposing that we actually trade the 7th for a 6th next year.
That's fine. That's fine.
So when it gets to us, I am absolutely man, Eric Izukanma going in the 6th round. Somebody better check on Ian Cummings, man. I love Ian. Man, Okonkwo's still available? Oh, okay, not anymore, but
yeah, Texans. I keep forgetting Cordell Flott's in this draft.
Me too. I think he was someone that I've added to my list and then quickly took off my list. One thing I'm going to look for. I think he just went off the board, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. was I was gonna say if Javon Hiley got taken, so that was gonna be the one guy I would consider keeping, like that pick for. I'm looking at it.
Hey, you want to take Matt Ariza?
Yeah, because I've never heard of the kicker we have, or the punter we have. I don't know who Aaron Sippis is.
Yeah, he looks like a guy to me. I don't know. He's 30.
Boss man, this is gonna be your favorite pick of the entire draft with the 237th pick in the 2022 NFL draft. Out of, according to you, a 6th-round value for my Eagles because you want them to be taken at pick 15. The Philadelphia Eagles are going to get the punt god, but they're going to get the punt god at 237, and you will sit there and you will like it.
And this is with Reggie Roberson and Jarrett Stearns on the board.
By the way, 2 brand guys.
Yeah, like 2 guys that I've loved for the longest time.
I'm just seeing some of the names that are projected to go undrafted now. Kyron Johnson. I actually liked him. I think he's a good
Trey
player.
Turner. I actually liked him. I remember when Zonovan Knight was a hot name. He barely gets drafted.
I do remember. I liked him I had him as a top 5 back over the summer. So
As
the Eagles, they don't make any moves. Their one move was the trade to with the Saints. So they get Drake London, Devin Lloyd, Cameron Thomas, Isaiah Spiller, Mario Goodrich, Greg Dulcich, Yoma Uwazurike, Joshua Azudu. Love the names that Devin can't say. Sterling Weatherford, and Matt Ariza. Nick, what letter grade would you give that draft?
I may be a little biased because I like some of these guys, some brand people in here. It'd get an A.
It would get an
A. I granted, the only thing saving it from an A plus, in my opinion, is that I wish we could have gotten corner sooner.
Yeah.
But the board fell away at May, and I mean, Goodrich, he's good. Like he might develop into a good number 2. Granted, given how loaded next year's class might be at corner, you might have to readdress this at some point, which, it's whatever. But I think we really nailed it with the value pick for Dulcich. Dulcich is one of my favorite players in the class.
Dulcich and Spiller are fantastic values at where we got them. I
really like the potential of Sterling Weatherford stepping in as a dime backer for the Eagles. I think he could help tremendously. I think Weatherford could be like what people thought of Talanoa Hufanga last year. So,
my big thing is the Azudu pick. He can play tackle or guard, and you get a guy with swing potential at 162.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Nick, you are doing tomorrow's mock draft, if I remember correctly, right?
Yes. Devin and I are recording the Ravens tomorrow night. So that ought to be fun.
Yeah. So price check 3 for him. Mike H _draft for me. We will see y'all around.